Welcome everyone, my name is Duge, beatboxer and co-founder of Lyrebird Beatbox School, the first beatbox school where you can learn from the best. Today I have the honor to welcome my dear friend, world-class beatboxer and teacher, FootboxG, official World Beatbox Champion 23. How are you feeling, Footbox?
I'm feeling very good.
Very nice, this is very good vibes. So,
Good vibes.
yeah man, every time. So let me remind you the concept of this series. We would like to share the approaches and experiences of important people to us who are helping to democratize our beloved discipline that's human beatbox. Each discussion features an artist beatboxer sharing his or her story and current vision of human beatbox. Today, we are here to try to understand your approach and how you came up with this clean and unique style that you have. At the end of this discussion, I will ask you to recommend 1 to 3 people who have inspired you and whom you would like to see in this show format. Are you ready, Footbox?
Very ready.
Very nice. For the first part, I will tell a little resume of who you are. So, your name is Tim van Rugenbroek. You were born in Alost, Belgium, and you are 26 years old. You've been beatboxing for over 12 years. Your stage name is FootboxG, and you are the World Beatbox Champion 23, TBB World League Champion in tag team with Supernova in 2021 under the name of Middle School. You are also 4 times national champ in solo and tag team category and beatbox teacher for many years. We met in 2018 for like a beatbox battle in France. And when I heard you for the first time, I noticed you were already different from the other beatboxers, thanks notably to solid and clean fundamentals. To understand how you came up with this unique style, my first question will be, how did you start learning to beatbox?
So I learned beatbox for the very first time with the beatbox application. And this beatbox application was more of an old school app, let's say, with human beatbox sounds. So not like electronic machine type beatbox yet, that makes sense. And there were some examples that could, when you press on a certain button, it is actually beatboxing with a cool rhythm, with a cool flow. And you could also just tap like on 6 buttons and make random sounds with random rhythmics you prefer. And I tried it out, and I was quite okay for the app, let's say. But I did it for fun and sometimes to annoy my little brother too, because it was just I was 14. It was the vibe to annoy him. And after I went to school, and some friends of mine, they asked me like, "Can you, Tim, can you actually beatbox?" And some friends of mine asked me like, can you beatbox actually? And I said, yeah, but that was like weird that they knew because I never showed anyone. So what did I do? Like they asked me, can you beatbox? And I said, yeah, but they could never know because I never showed anyone. So after I said, okay, let's go have a beatbox battle, you versus our other friend Logan. And I was like, does Logan beatbox? Logan was somebody, I was never in his class, but we were always meeting each other on our way to school and like during the breaks and stuff. And I was doing literally we just each did 2 rounds or 1 round, I don't, not with 1 minute 30, like the classical duration of the round, but just we freestyle. And I did exactly as the app showed me. So I did just this, I just did this. And then Logan said, okay, now it's my turn. And he goes like, I was like, what? Is this possible? That's great. I didn't even hear this on the app. I was like, wow, okay, maybe this is not my discipline. And yeah, Logan was super strong on it. He was 14. He was doing, I think he's not really beatboxing anymore. He's more producing like rhythm and dubstep and drum and bass stuff. But after hearing Logan at my school, I was like, how good could people be really in this? And then I looked on YouTube. I looked on YouTube beatbox battle, and it gave me my first. It remembers me of my first video that I'm gonna restart because many things are coming into my head right now. Yeah, so as soon as I returned home, I was like, okay, but how good can people really be in beatboxing? So I went on my laptop and I looked up on YouTube like beatbox battle, and then the first video I ever saw, maybe not the first I ever saw, but that I on purposely clicked on, was Kreen Effects versus Caleb Simmons. The battle with a King of the Dot, Scott Jackson hosting a battle in Canada, I think then. And that, I mean, Caleb Simmons had like the old school flavor, but so much meaning in what he was doing. And then there was Kreen Effects, who was just like overdosed of skills, like wow. And I was like, okay, this is crazy. And I find it super crazy, but it didn't like trigger me to really do it myself. I was just very fascinated, like, wow, these guys are really great, you know. And then one video after, or a couple of videos after, I found Skiller versus Alem, the World Beatbox Championship final 2012. And as soon as Bilo counted like 3, 2, 1 beatbox, and I heard Skiller, just the first 3 seconds, I was like, what is this guy doing? That's crazy. I didn't understand a single sound. And then Alem responded, and then back then I thought it was better. So I was like, what? People can be that good? And then after watching these videos, I asked myself, okay, can there be any reason that these people can just be that good and I shouldn't? Or like, and I cannot, you know? Is there be a reason? I mean, if they can do it, why can I not, you know? So I was like, I'm gonna do it. And yeah, back then I was kind of gaming addicted, PlayStation, iPod Touch, playing mini games, Angry Birds and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw that video, and after like Babli versus Robeat, these videos on Beatbox Battle TV and some on Swiss Beatbox, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing it. But it was not even a decision. I was already trying to beatbox that and just getting better at some point. So yeah.
Very
How I
nice.
started.
So nice.
Yeah.
And are you still friends with the one you started with the battle with?
With Logan?
Yeah.
I don't hear him that much anymore because he's not super active on socials. And sometimes he's sharing his beats with me and I click on it and I give him feedback. But usually I just say, wow, crazy, because it's crazy. It's super good. Yeah, but I don't see him that much anymore because I also don't live in my hometown anymore neither.
Yeah. Alright.
I live in Antwerp now. Yeah.
Very nice. So was it the first event, the live event you attended, the World Beatbox Championship? You said you saw the video. Was it live or not? Like, was it? Did you watch it in live stream, or did you watch it in videos?
I watched it in videos. It was already uploaded like a couple of months after it happened. Yeah, it was just like the YouTube video.
All right, okay. So what was the first event that you attended in beatbox?
Oh, it was the Oops Beatbox battle in Brussels. And I was just there because I wanted to record my very first shout out, just my very first professional beatbox video for WHBBE, WHBBE. And and I remember I just entered the building and I saw Beard sitting there, Alexinho walking around freestyling, Ball Z kicking a football together with Alem, I think. I was like, what? All my heroes are in one room. I was just stiff at some point, like, what the hell is happening? They're all here in Brussels, like 20 minutes away from where I live. And I that day I regret it. Well, now I don't regret it so much anymore, but I remember I didn't have the guts to speak to any one of them. I was so Impressed, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I did record my first shout out, my first professional recorded beatbox video. I think it's still on YouTube of WHBBE. I'm not sure, but maybe. Yeah, that was the first one. And at the end, I didn't look at the battle because I needed to go play football.
Okay.
So 2 years after I stopped playing football, and I went to beatbox battles.
Had to make a choice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Are there any people or beatboxers who have particularly influenced you?
Oh,
And if
yes,
so,
definitely.
how did they influence you? So,
Well, of course, the Skiller and Alem, they make me want to do battles. Like Alem and Skiller, they both had just such an energy on stage where I was like, wow, they have a microphone in their hand. It just looked good and stylish already. And they perform crazy, original beats, but also very technically, musically very intelligent. I was like, wow. Even if I didn't understand that what was happening, Skiller was already doing crazy things that I couldn't process properly. So I was like, okay, I just want to be as cool as them, and I want to learn it. These were my thoughts of a 14. These were the thoughts of a 14-year-old me. Like, okay, I want to be as cool as them because they rock, and I want to rock. You know, yeah. So yeah, I would definitely say Skiller and Alan because these were the people who made me start, together with Babeli. Babeli made me want to beatbox like house and techno, because then I was still very into house and techno, and I just wanted to make people dance too with beatbox. That was like a goal. And then I really was obsessed is a big word, but I was really analyzing every time Alexinho, because he was just 2 years older than I was, which means that when I discovered him, he was 16, I was 14, and he was having just that career with my idols and defeating them in battles. And I was like, wow, okay, if this guy can do it, I want to see how he's doing it, and how he's making progress, and I will try to understand it. And same for the people who were actually winning them. I remember Litos winning against Alexinho sometime, Napom winning against him. Yeah, and I was taking notes of all these people, like why were they better at some point in the beatbox battling? Yeah.
so very nice. You already made your reflection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very nice. That brings me to the next question. That is, what musical genres have inspired you the most in your art, and what do you like in those music genres?
Mm. My favorite music genre, or the music genres that really influenced me, it came very late, around 2020 actually, when I was already beatboxing for 8 years, and it's called halftime. And or you can also call it experimental hip hop, depending on the structure and on the sounds that they are using. But I really got inspired by halftime, let's say, because at first I was really just impressed by beatboxers, and I wanted to learn the beatbox sounds from other beatboxers, and maybe trying to find an original sound myself, or a cool groove and a cool structure. But then I realized, like, okay, but these people learned from their favorite musicians, maybe I should do the same. And at some point I discovered the label called 2020 by Ivy Lab. We were just listening to it. And yeah, Ivy Lab and its label 2020 was for me everything I wanted to achieve as a beatboxer, because they had like their own identity as musicians, and they have cool fabricated sounds that are interesting if you could do that as a beatboxer, or at least to add your own twist. And I remember in 2018, when I was already having like a quite good career and I was starting to get international, Primitive from Belgium, he told me like what made me really level up was to stop listening to beatboxers for a long time.
So Primitive did this to level up, or he recommends you to do it?
He did that, and then he recommended me too. So I said like that's actually very smart because I guess I was just very influenced by Babali, by Spider Horse, the Mad Twins, and by Alexinho and many others, Napalm, for example, too. And so I was like, okay, maybe I should look for different sources than beatboxers now. And from that point, I discovered halftime, and I really started to analyze grime and hybrid trap and subgenres of dubstep and drum and bass. And that's when I really discovered my favorite musicians and favorite genres, let's say.
Very nice, very nice.
Came late.
All right, okay. You could identify yourself very good with this kind of music. Could you say like you could identify yourself very well with, you resonate with this music?
Absolutely, yeah. But at some point, when I was listening so much to Ivy Lab, I understood like, okay, but even my beatbox is starting to sound like Ivy Lab. Maybe I should just take inspiration instead of like, going like almost in the same road as a beatboxer like them. I did it for like a year. But they definitely helped me I tried to understand their workflow, their creative process, and I took a part of it just as inspiration and creativity for myself. And now I do it on my own and try to just discover my own identity as a musician. And I try to find, it sounds very spiritual, cheesy, but I try to find the source within what I really like and where it comes from and stuff. Yeah.
Very nice answer. Thank you very much. Did you start to play music by beatboxing?
Yes. Yeah, I was absolutely, well, that's not true. I wanted to say I was never interested in music, but that's not true. I was always very fascinated by film or like movie music, like Harry Potter, Star Wars, Narnia. Like these movies really made me fall in love with music, for real. And yeah, as soon as I was beatboxing, I saw some artists like Gene and Tom Tom, and they really that they have a collaboration on Swiss Beatbox. I think their title or their track title is called Waiting. I'm not sure if it's yeah, but anyway, this collaboration between them made me want to really make music as a beatboxer instead of only beatbox battling.
Very nice. What do you think beatbox brings to you?
Ha.
It's a very difficult question.
Yeah, I know two words like magic and connection. Yeah, and the connection is with myself and with others, to make potential friends or to understand people in general. Yeah. And magic because I'm fascinated by magic in general, and that's that's for interpretation, let's say.
So for you, it's like a kind of a special power to beatbox?
Hmm?
Is it like a kind of special power to beatbox?
Yeah. It's like it's like a special power, like superheroes. For me, I feel like that. It's like, wow, I can do something super cool, and I'm gonna show off with it. But in order to do good things with it, and not just to show off. But my thoughts as a 14-year-old was like, wow, I'm fascinated by superheroes. I'm fascinated by these beatboxers. Yeah, and I wanted to kind of, like I said it earlier, I just wanted to be as cool as who I was looking up to. But yeah, the magic never disappeared, let's say.
So nice.
Yeah.
When did you know you wanted to become a professional beatboxer?
Directly.
Really?
Directly. Skiller Alem, directly. Because so many things happened because of this video. I immediately showed it to my mom. I'm like, wow, look at this. And she's like, wow, that's crazy, that's great, that's nice. But I was already imagining like, but these people, they can do so much things with it. Not only beatbox battling, they could really make like fan merchandising. They could really make sample pack. This thought came later, right? But I just already could imagine how much things you could do with it, like learning to beatbox, opening a beatbox school, and here's Lyrebird, right? like just doing shows without without the actual beatbox battling, collaborating with different kind of musicians, and I was like, I want to do all of it, like, but in my way, I guess, right? So yeah, this I directly knew as soon as I saw beatbox.
All right, directly you wanted the full package.
Yeah. Yes.
Very nice. If you had to give beatboxers one piece of advice to help them stand out from the crowd like you did, what would it be?
To 100% go for it. Like, you have people who already make excuses up in their head to not succeed. And I really believe that every beatboxer, every artist in general, know what they need to do to achieve what they want to achieve, but they just need to do it. And it asks a lot of time and energy and organization. But that's why there are only a few, I would say. Yeah.
A few success, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to point fingers to myself because in my opinion, I still also have a lot to learn and there's no end to it. But I already met people who just make already an excuse up like, I will not succeed because blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I mean, at some parts, I can really understand what they are saying and that some things are really blocking them, of course.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, the road can never be entirely blocked. You can also make like a very big detour and still get there. That makes sense. Yeah. Or at least have an alternative thing. Yeah.
you always have solutions.
Yeah. So my answer, very short, would be just Nike's slogan, just do it. And that's true. That's really true.
Very nice answer. Thank you. Now I have a funny question for you. If you were an instrument, well, what would you be?
Yeah, I think an MPC.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. Because I am not really like as I beatbox a lot of percussion and drums, but I don't perform like drums that sound like a classic piece of drum. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like a drum set.
Yeah.
However, I could sound like an electronic one, let's say. And I'm also not like a very my music is not based, or I never start a beat with or I never start a composition with a melodic idea. Sometimes I do, so I cannot say I'm like piano or like keys in general. I think I'm more like a MPC because I also if I think about MPC, I connect this with J Dilla in my head.
Yeah.
And I connect J Dilla with my my source Ivy Lab, and it's a circle.
Very nice.
Yeah, an MPC, I would say.
Thank you. How would you describe your beatboxing style?
Oh, the best. No. That's a good question. I think it would sound arrogant, but original. I mean, sometimes I have groovy stuff and laid back stuff. Sometimes it's very tight. But I always try to be innovative, but how I want to, let's say, right? I don't really know a good word or sentence for it. Like if I need to describe, do I need to describe it in one word?
No, not in one word. It's like how can we identify your style, for example?
That's a
That's a
hard.
very deep-
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Maybe I can ask you another question to go back to this one.
Yeah, go for it.
It's when did you feel you would find your beatboxing style?
Around 2020 when COVID happened. It was also the time when I was just looking up different musical sources. I was influenced by many other things than beatboxing, and it was the time when I also decided to watch less beatboxing. Of course, I still do it a lot, but in order for my creative process, it helped to not watch an entire day beatbox videos.
Yeah.
However, I could do it and I would like it, you know.
Very nice. So Maybe there is a strong link between what you were listening to and at that time when you found this style, your style, we will say. How do you say? Did you find like a change in your creative process or how you make routines?
Yeah, definitely. It evolved every year. Like at first I was trying to kind of copy beatboxers and trying to make my own style out of it. Then I tried to do it the same as the old school beatboxers tried to do it. So listening to their favorite music and they could reproduce it, you know, and make their own style out of it. But now I think I'm at the position I do it based on my daily life, like how do I walk, how fast do I walk, how do I breathe, and how can I really shape it into sound, so that it sometimes you can hear beatboxers, in my opinion, and you feel it's very calculated and almost a bit forced because it's very inspired from something which is very okay and very cool. But there is also this organic raw thing that's very within you, and I try to discover that, like how nothing sounds forced at all, and that it's still organic and beautiful. However, beautiful is subjective again. Yeah, maybe I don't know if it sounds mad, but
No, it's only a matter of taste, man. And
yeah. At the end,
very nice.
yeah.
Now I would like to ask you, do you consider beatboxing to be a sport? And if so, what similarities do you see between them?
A sport is a big word because you can call like you can call football and basketball sports, but if I'm not mistaken, you can also call golf a sport. What is true is that in beatboxing, it requires a lot of athletic skills, not only the creativity, but also how fast can you repeat that particular sound with your cheekbones and with your tongue and stuff. So it requires a lot of muscles and condition too for breathing. But at the end, I think it's still a bit more music and art in general. But there is definitely a sport element.
All right. So you distinguish sport and art by this kind of example.
That's how I see it. Yeah.
Very nice. What kind of projects would you like to achieve in the upcoming 5 years? What kind of collaborations you would like to try? Or you said, for example, you love the movie music. Would you like to try some stuff like this?
No, I just get inspired by movie music for in terms of chords sometimes, and in terms of atmosphere. But what I really want to achieve is I want to become more like I'm working on my 1 hour show right now with my solo beatboxing, with my beatbox DJ set, and also the Japanese project of Batako, like using beatbox as rap on instrumentals. I want to create a 1 hour show of this. I'm almost finished, but after the set is finished, it needs to become for me, it needs to become a show. I mean, for what I want to do. So I'm focusing on that, and with that, I hope within 5 years I can tour with this, like not only for beatbox events, but as in majority for festivals that I like.
Very nice. That's a nice answer. We're talking about your upcoming projects. Where can we see you perform or simply take lessons with you?
The lessons are with Lyrebird Beatbox School. But what was the other question?
Where can we see you perform on stage?
Usually on my social media, I share like a calendar where I'm performing on Instagram, and sometimes on my website too. I mean, on my website too, but I'm more active on Instagram lately. And I perform a bit everywhere around the world. It depends.
All right, very nice. That brings me to the last questions. If you had to name 1 to 3 beatbox artists who have inspired you and whom you would like to see on this show, to continue tracing the history of beatbox, who would they be?
I can name only three. Three beatboxers.
Yeah, 3 beatbox artists.
That's a hard one. Alem should be one. Yeah, I started because of Alem.
Yeah.
I faced Alem in top 16 World Championship, and I lost so hard, and I never felt that good because I saw everything what I wanted to see, how I could still level up. And he judged me at World Championship, and there's a huge part of Alem's beatbox inside of me.
Nice.
So Alem, in terms of beatbox battling, the meta, he really understands it.
Yeah.
I think another one would be Collapse, because Collapse is around 2018. I never witnessed such a complete beatboxer in my life.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, at one point he's better than at the other point, but it's a matter of taste. But I really think everything what he does sounds super good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like for me a very. If you think of beatboxing, Collapse is one of the first I think about. And then a third one.
And Collapse already appeared on our show, so
Yeah.
that confirms.
Yeah. It's hard. I can name many.
Yeah.
I can really name many beatboxers.
You can have your top 5 if you cannot decide.
Okay, the top 5 is easier. Then I would maybe say Alexinho, Napalm, and Dilo.
Very nice.
Yeah. Alexinho, he inspired me to become an all-round beatboxer in the first place. Napalm, for me, had such an incredible milestone in nowadays beatboxing. Like, he really brought beatboxing with sub bass to a different level, and he beatboxed so much like himself, and is a strong beatbox battler. And Dilo, I never saw somebody winning with such a gap. 2019 for me. After seeing him winning against Collapse, I was so sure he's gonna win like very, very hard, and that inspired me so much.
Nice.
He was the beatboxer in back then 2019. He was a beatboxer. I couldn't imagine how to win against him. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Then who else did I say? No, these were the 3.
Oh, that was the 3. That's good.
I would pick these 5.
Nice. Would you like to battle Dilo, for example, one day?
But we already battled in 2018, and I lost so bad. I was super strong and so ready for 2019. I would like to battle again, of course, but not now. Different time. I feel good not battling now.
Nice. What can we wish you for the upcoming years? What can we wish? Good vibes or another thing?
Good vibes.
Good vibe is good.
Shout out to Utch.
Shout out to Edge that is here. So yeah, do you think you would like to achieve a particular thing?
For in the future, I most of all wish myself good body tranquility, like not too much stress and worries about who's the best in beatboxing, because I'm still in the beatbox battle spirit.
Yeah.
And I want to step away of it in terms of how I don't always want to admit to the fire that I have in my heart. You understand?
Yeah.
And then I hope that my family will still live long, because I really think they will. But lately, the last 2 years, I didn't see them that much, and it would really mean a lot if I could spend more time with them.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I really hope that as soon as my show, if I have it together, that you guys come to check it.
Yeah,
It's going to be sick.
So nice. So we wish you success, time with your family, and Yeah, a lot of motivation for your project.
Yeah.
So now we are here for the second part of the interview, which is the question from the chat. How would you explain how you came up with a clean style like this or clean sounds like this?
For me, it came very naturally that I wanted to sound good, and sometimes I could just hear sounds and be like, it could sound really better if we want to make beatbox sound very realistic, you know. That was my first thought, and my desire to make my beatbox clean, like I said, came so naturally. But for me, I never considered myself, maybe because I know my sound palette way better than all other people, but I also will almost never perform unclean sounds that are not mastered yet on stage. And that's, I think, a difference with other people. Like some people just will perform a certain sound that's totally not clean yet.
Yeah.
But I never do this. And then sometimes it looks that I need to find material, but I still have so much material, but it's not clean yet. If it's perfect, in my opinion, then, well, it doesn't exist perfect, but then I execute it. And sometimes for me, it's also a matter of what sounds you are choosing in the type of structure. Like sometimes if you replace one snare and it just fits better, the entire set will sound cleaner because you don't put too much effort and you will not sound too tired, and all the sounds will fit somehow better because you think it sounds better. And its totality with the fact that you only perform the clean sounds that you have, I think that's why I quote unquote stand out.
Very nice. But when do you consider that your sound is clean enough to use it on stage?
As soon as I feel it. But I also don't hesitate to ask feedback to people I trust, like Supernova, like Big Ben, like yeah, to anyone I trust.
Okay, what is your learning process to create new sounds or to improve the sounds you already have?
I think I have mainly three methods. Like one of them would be listening to the music that I like, and I imagine that it's a beatboxer, and I would like ask him like, how do you do this sound? And then I try to do it myself.
Okay.
Instead of yeah, it's the difference. It's not a beatboxer; it's an actual song. Another one would be combining sounds, like in one of the Lyrebird tutorials, I gave a tutorial for the high-pitched bongo drum, which is but you can also just find it by doing a bongo drum and then wanting to do like somehow it can create a certain timbre, like a certain color. So yeah, mixing sounds or like putting two sounds at the same time could really make a new sound. And I tried this a lot, and even with like a list with all of sounds I already have, like trying to combine it.
Nice.
And another one would be like a accident. Like sometimes you're just beatbox. I remember I was trying to copy River in the beat. Like he had this crazy beat on the online battles during COVID. He was doing like with the inward voice.
Yeah.
And I was like, how does he do it? I was trying to do it when I was still working in a factory before I was full-time beatboxer.
Yeah.
And this I tried to do this sound, and all of a sudden I had, and I was like, oh, it has something new. And then I tried to complete the sound. Then I had, and that was a new sound again, or like at least like a combo of different sounds together. So yeah.
Very nice. And it's totally different than River's one.
Yes.
So we know you are a world champion now, but what does it bring? What did the title brings to you?
In the first place, cool opportunities within the beatboxing scene, like judging internationally and in different continents and stuff, and it made me discover different beatbox communities way farther than where I live in Europe. That's one. The second is opportunities outside of the beatbox community, like performing together with the band Akamoon, a famous jazz band in the Shenzhen Percussion Festival in China. Other festivals in Europe. And what it also brought was some trust of people. Like people would come faster to me for advice because of a title. I mean, people already came to me because of winning other battles, let's say, or also just because I showed in my way that I have my style as a beatboxer together. But I think this title also kind of shows that you understand something where people are maybe looking for. I also, it's something that nobody never gave to me, but what I'm changing my answer, sorry, but for me, what I gave myself was kind of responsibility. Like if people would come to me, and I have now the Beatbox Battle World Championship blue frame title, I want to take care of this title. Like I want to, as soon as people discover beatbox on the stage and I'm performing it, I want to make sure that they have a world-class beatboxer on stage, not giving a shit.
Nice.
Sorry, but that I really take care of a good show and that beatbox is something bomb, you know? Yeah, exactly. And also I try to take care of my appearance in a certain way, like not too much ego. I mean, so it's okay to have, we said it even like earlier, but yeah, I want to, I know that people are now like, some people are very focused now because maybe some of them want to become world champion too. And I want to make sure that the image of beatboxing is protected and that it has a good appearance, like good show, actual music, that we're family, that we are sharing our skills and that we are not very egocentric and protective about ourselves. Yeah. Yeah, it brought me responsibility too, but maybe I just put it in my own head.
Yeah. I like your approach, so thank you very much for staying yourself. Do you have 3 anecdotes about what we need to know about you?
Yeah, my ego now. I am always with the mentality of I am good, but I can do better. Nice. And I like to keep this thought forever. But also when there's a day that I don't feel like pushing and evolving, then it's good to fall back on the I am good part, and you know. But this came late. But this first quote, you know, it's I wake up with it every day.
Nice.
A second one is a beatbox did good for me. I want to do good for beatbox now too. Is 2, where I'm always with it. And 3, Belgian fries are better than French fries.
You can say it because you have tasted the both. So.
Why FootboxG?
Why FootboxG?
You guys are so not ready. It's so stupid. Like I said earlier, I was gaming addicted. Yeah. So when I was 14, I played a lot of PlayStation, iPod Touch. It was Call of Duty, FIFA, everything. Yeah. PlayStation 3. And my school results were not so good. But with beatboxing, I understood it's discipline. Like, okay, you need to work on what you're good at, but also on things you're bad at, you know, like, and with school, it made me understand too how to organize myself to work on things to get better, you know. A fun fact, it's my ego, but like I was not so good at school, especially around 14, 15, 16 years old. But when I was 18, I received a prize at the end of the year for best evolution.
Oh.
But I owe this to beatbox, for real. And when I was beatboxing, I also stopped, not entirely, but my gaming addiction went so lower, and I was not addicted anymore to gaming. I was addicted to beatboxing. And my PlayStation name back then was FOO, with like a stripe, not an underscore, but a middle score. I don't know how to say it. FOO middle score T. So it was faux T. That's a different story. Too long.
That's funny. That's
yeah,
part of the.
that's not even interesting. But the when I wanted to make my first YouTube video and to share my beatbox freestyles, I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep a part of my PlayStation thing account. Now I can call it history, but back then it was just like a how do you call it? Like a transition,
Yeah.
to what I'm gonna become. So it was FOOT, which became foot, that box from beatboxing, footbox. But footbox felt incomplete. So very radically, I just added a G because it sounded also cool.
Like an OG.
Yeah,
an
like
OG.
OG, for example, yeah. And I was not sure if I wanted to keep that name. But for now it was okay. You know, maybe I change it later. I thought.
Yeah.
And at like after a year of beatboxing, I was at my school just doing like this a little bit. And a girl called Allison came to me and said like, "Wow, you have like big feet." Like not even like on the beatboxing. It was just like, "Wow, your feet are massive, bro." And but I have like a size 43 in euro, which is okay, and I'm like not too small, not too big neither. But back then when I was 14, I was way smaller, and I already had the size 43. It didn't grow anymore back then, so I was like kind of L, like a walking like this. And I was like, FootboxG to me. It makes sense. It makes more sense now, you know.
Yeah.
Also with my appearance, I used to wear like, I still have Air Force, but I have different outfit now, and I'm a bit bigger. But when I was 14, I bought, for example, when I bought Air Force because I liked them, they were just looking so massive, like so big, and I was just like, yeah, it's a small guy, and also walking like that back then. Yeah, so FootboxG made more sense, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep it, no matter if it's ugly. Makes sense, but I keep it.
That's the name. Very nice.
Cool.
Thank you very much for this interview, Footbox.
Ah bah de rien. You're welcome.
A last word for the French community.
A last word for the French community.
In French.
Oh, qu'est-ce que je vais dire? Belgium, Belgium. No, I love you guys. For me, French scene is my favorite scene.
Moi, je voulais que tu dises en français.
Non.
C'est mort.
C'est bon.
So this is the end of the third episode. I hope you enjoyed this interview.
Yeah, I did. It's nice.
Very nice, me too. So to the audience, I invite you to share your opinions in the comments. You can also suggest guests you would like to see in the show. As a reminder, we don't claim to hold the absolute truth. We simply want to share the point of view and experiences of different people who we feel are important to us. So that was the third episode of Story of a Beatboxer, produced by myself, Tuj, co-founder of Lyrebird Beatbox School, Kema at the camera and recording, and with our special guest and Lyrebird Beatbox teacher, FootboxG. And I will see you soon for the next episode.